Imagine that you were on the 7th grade class trip I went on with my class, where we socialized with the indigenous tribes of Taiwan, learned to face our fears of snakes, spiders, and other big insects. Also imagine our 8th grade trip we went on just this year, where we bravely conquered tall heights and crossed over high rope challenges, and think of all the fun we had together as one united class. Then think of the snakes and high rope challenges we endured during those trips. Does anyone imagine or remember that? The fear of snakes and heights was something I remember most vividly throughout these class trips. Everyone has different fears and phobias, whether they decide to keep it a secret or not. But what people normally don't realize is that phobias do affect our mental health. It is important to acknowledge them and not rush to try to hide or overcome them. According to Healthline, a phobia is a type of anxiety disorder in which someone is extremely fearful of something or situation and does their best to avoid it. And mentalhealth.gov states that mental health is our condition, in which includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It is a big factor in our everyday lives since it affects how we think, feel, act, and treat other people. If we connect phobias to mental health, we can see that phobias do affect our mental health, our daily ways of life and functioning. In fact, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, approximately 10% of people in the U.S. experience phobias, making phobias the most common mental disorder in the U.S. It affects more women than men. However, approximately 15 American adults are affected, and approximately 5.5% of American teenage is also affected. Phobias also happen in early childhood and are often first seen in teens and adults between ages 15 to 20. According to Very Well Mind, phobias can cause disagreements in close relationships since it limits activity that friends, families, partners can do together. It also leads to social isolation, possibly very embarrassing moments and feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, and uncontrollable emotions. Phobias can also significantly impact your daily functioning life, education, and career. According to Healthline, the main 3 types of phobias are social phobias, agoraphobia, and specific phobias. Social phobias are the most common anxiety disorder currently and have to do with the fear of being judged or evaluated negatively by peers or anyone else, especially in a whole social situation or scene. It can include public speaking, speaking with peers, meeting new people, or talking to high-ranking figures. Agoraphobia is the fear of thinking that help will be escape or help will be difficult to obtain in the case when things go wrong. It's a complicated fear but triggers extreme helplessness. Specific phobias has many and unique and different phobias that relate to specific objects, things, and situations and affect approximately 12.5% of American adults. There's even one about the fear of chickens, known as Agoraphobia, and the fear of phobias, known as phobophobia. But how exactly are phobias caused, and how do you learn to overcome them and learn to take care of your own mental health? According to Mayo Clinic, some symptoms of phobias are sweating, trembling, shortness of breath, rapid heartbeats, or having a constant tightness or pain in your chest. Phobias can be caused or developed due to a past or negative experience, genetics, environment, or just simply your brain functions. To overcome your phobias the right way, don't rush to get rid of it. If you do, you risk your mental health even further. Also, according to Mayo Clinic, the best treatment for specific phobias is exposure therapy, meaning you focus on changing your response to a fear, thing, or situation. This is a gradual and slow process, starting from thinking about your fear and to understanding it to facing it slowly. For example, if you have ophidiophobia, the fear of snakes, you will start by thinking about snakes, to look at pictures of them, to actually looking at them in real life, to actually having contact with snakes. Another way of overcoming phobias is cognitive behavior therapy. Mayo Clinic states that it mixes exposure therapy with other techniques to help you learn to view and cope with your fear, thing, or situation differently, helping you develop more confidence and feel less overwhelmed by our feelings or emotions. Of course, there's always medication you can take to help reduce feelings of panic or anxiety, such as sedatives. Meditation strategies, relaxation techniques, and even physical training or activity can also be beneficial and helpful as home remedies. Remember what I told you about my class trips, about the snakes, insects, spiders, high rope challenges, and tall heights we conquered. Seeing our classmates and other people struggle may seem funny to some of us, but it does take a toll on everyone's mental health. Even though I personally had no extreme fear, I still felt slightly distressed due to peer pressure. To prove my point, scientific research states that peer pressure can also cause phobias and fears. In this case, people who are afraid of these things could also have felt ridiculed, embarrassed, or pressured. Fortunately, there's always treatment available, customized and tailored for each person. Just try different ways to figure out which one works best for you. Whether you choose to face it gradually, take medication, try relaxation techniques, or even just exercising more, there's always the best fit treatment option for everyone. In the coming years of your life, you're sure to experience more such things as phobias and mental health issues, and learn more of which things are within your comfort zone and which things or situations are not. However, the most important thing to remember is to not rush your treatment or completely neglect it. Consider reaching out to other people who may have the same problem, and always remember to take care of yourself. Phobias and your own mental health are not to be taken lightly. They affect us in our lives a lot more than we think. Thank you.